Hey guys, welcome back to the Scaling Solopreneur Summit. This is the ultimate training ground for online entrepreneurs and coaches who want to take the next step from one-woman show to CEO. My name is Kristen Miller. I am one of your co-hosts for the summit. And today I am interviewing Jamie Gilleland, who is an amazing person that I can't wait to get into talking about how to automate your business and your customer journey. So Jamie Gilleland is the owner of Keep It Simple Strategies. She is an international speaker, best-selling author, and sales and marketing automation expert that's been involved in sales, marketing, and technology for decades. She is one of the most successful Keep partners in the world, garnering honors not only for sales, but also retention. Her strategies and campaigns have been used by some of the biggest names in the coaching industry for one simple reason: they work. Now, Jamie shares the secrets of business and automation success through her Next Comma coaching programs, Keep It Simple Strategies, and as a trusted advisor to dozens of companies and businesses around the world. So welcome, Jamie. I'm excited to talk to you about this topic.
Thank you, Kristen. Oh, I love it. I'm just going from a one-woman show to a full-time entrepreneur is something I'm so passionate about because I've done it. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
That's awesome. And that's why I love having these conversations with experts like you, because you've been there and done that, and you have like that vision behind you instead of trying to figure out, because there's so many different ways to do business, So let's learn from the things that have actually worked for people.
Well, and there's so many different experts. I have golden retrievers. And if you've ever thrown a ball for a golden retriever, if anything gets in the way, they get sidetracked. And I find so many entrepreneurs are getting so much different information, especially with social media. Here we do this, no, we do this, no, we do this, no, we do this. And they end up with what I refer to as a bunch of half-built bridges because they never quite finish them. They never get to where they're going. And they're just so confused about how to do it, which is where Keep It Simple Strategies came from. So
yeah. I love that. Tell me more about that, because I do think simplifying is one of the big keys in growing your business.
Oh, absolutely. When I started my company, I have a bit of a tech background. My bachelor's degree was information technology, or programming, what they called programming back in the day. And my master's in marketing. And so I tease that if Al Gore started the internet, I started digital marketing because I did all that before the internet. So I had some foresight of something. I didn't really, it just turned out that way. Anyway, I was always looking for the latest and greatest tool. And I had, 25 different pieces of software, and this one did this, and this one did this, and this one was free, and this one was $50. And it was a bunch of bubblegum and Band-Aids holding it together. And it made life, what I thought was creating simple systems, turned out to be this complicated web that I didn't know where things were. Things fell through the cracks, things got lost, things got bad data that messed it all up. I'm so glad to be beyond that.
Yeah, it's hard because it's fine when you set it up and it's perfect, but like the minute you need to make an update or a change, it all breaks down.
Exactly. Or you add, oh, I need to do this, so I'm going to add this piece of software, and then everything just falls apart. Yeah. So we we started in digital marketing. I started as a web designer years ago, and that's pretty much all I did was WordPress sites. And as I started seeing from my past experience, actually fast forward, go before that, rewind. I was partners in a real estate company, a residential real estate brokerage, and we decided to franchise the concept. So I was the one who did all the franchising, wrote all the books, created the systems for the franchisees, so we knew what was going on. What I failed to do, or we failed to do at the time, was create the systems for our corporate structure. So we had 35 people that worked for us, and everybody knew what they were supposed to do. However, they always came to me as the CEO to say, should I do this? Should I do this? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, In January of 2007, I was diagnosed with a massive brain tumor and told I had less than 6 weeks to live.
Wow.
And less than 20% chance of surviving the operation. So I had to step out of the business and take care of my health for a period of about 6 weeks. And during that 6 weeks, the business fell to its knees. The systems were not in place. People didn't know what to do. They couldn't call me and say, can I do this? So they just didn't do it. And I went from being a middle 6-figure earner to standing in line to collect food stamps to feed my kids. So I survived.
Yeah, you're here today, so that's the good news.
Exactly. I made it through the surgery, but financially, I didn't survive. And so at that point, I became really intrigued by what an entrepreneur needed to do to be able to have a life. So that, matter of fact, my husband and one of our sons and I just came back from New Mexico, and I have a picture of us all on horseback. And we just put up the phrase on it, you need to build your business around your life, not your life around your business.
Yeah.
And creating systems helps you do that. So I became so passionate about systems, whether they're software systems, whether they're processes, whatever the step is, that it's documented. And and the people know who work with you as you scale, how to build and grow, and how to take the next step, and how to do it without being a line at your door saying, what should I do next? What should I do next? I don't want to micromanage people or processes. I want to set it and forget it.
Yeah. I think that's the goal for all entrepreneurs when they start, but then they get bogged down with everything and like being the central point of contact. So when should someone start looking at adding these systems?
Day one.
I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the answer.
What's the old Chinese saying? The best time to plant an oak tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is today, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, people say all the time, I'm just starting. I don't think I need this yet, but you do, because if you create the systems from the beginning, it gives you the ability to go to soccer games, to go to, I had 3 small children at the time when I was doing this, and my kids used to laugh at me and say, Mom, you'll be yelling at us about something, and all of a sudden you're answering the phone and saying, hi, this is Jamie. like living a double personality. Because you're trying, and I was a single mom. I lost, unfortunately, after my brain tumor, I lost my first husband. And so, here I was, a single mom, starting a business, running all of this, and trying to figure out how to make things work. And when I finally realized if I put the right systems in place, the new lead coming in consistently gets the follow-up they need. And I don't have to be worried about, did I follow up with all the leads that came in last week?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So having that consistency so that what the process is that you want a customer to go through every time to get the best results, the best service, the best feeling about your business and how you're serving them, then and only then can you step away. Instead of the 4-hour work week that most people want, they end up with a 4-hour sleep week because they're working around the clock, especially women, especially moms, trying to balance the family, balance the kids, get the work done. Okay, I'll start that at 9 o'clock when I put the kids to bed. I'll work till midnight. I get up at 6. It can be a roller coaster. And when you get the systems in place, most of that gets taken care of, and you can focus on what you're genius at what you started your business for in the first place. And that makes me feel good.
Yeah. Like they say, you're not building a job, you're building a business. And I think that's a hard thing to do, especially when you're a solopreneur and you're just starting to scale, or even if you've been in it for a while, it's hard to let go of those little things and, let someone else take care of it, or something, maybe a process or an automation take care of it instead of you.
Exactly. And we get stuck. So many people who start their businesses started it because they were brilliant at something that they did in the corporate world and said, I can do this myself and make more money.
Yeah.
And they can, but they forget, or they don't know in the beginning, if they don't know to set the systems up in the beginning, and they end up spending 10 times more time creating what they're doing. And yes, they're making more money, but they're not making more money per hour. They've created a job that they haven't built around their life. So creating systems, creating processes, outlining, it's your business. It should run the way you want. You shouldn't be run by your business. You should run your business. One of our clients is Michael Gerber, the E-Myth guy. So Michael has a saying, work on your business, not in your business. And too many of us get trapped in our business.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. And that's when all those thoughts of, gee, I could go back to work and work 9 to 5 and have vacation and have healthcare and have all these things.
Yeah. Because like you said, if you start in corporate or whatever it is, and you think, oh, I could do this on my own, you're not thinking about all those other things that someone else in the business is doing that you're not doing, that you're going to have to do too. So
exactly.
Right. It's not just doing that thing on your own. It's all the business stuff too.
Exactly. So having the right pieces put together, having a clear picture of what the whole start to finish, what the customer journey, as I call it, should look like. And when they get to a certain place, there's always additional places. What are the next steps that they could go on? And what are the possibilities that you have to create? So thinking through that whole process instead of kind of running by the seat of our pants is something that we don't think about when we start the business. So one of my passions is making sure to bring that to people, to have them clear that up. What does the perfect business look like to you? Does it look like working Monday to Friday and Monday to Thursday, having Friday off to play tennis or do yoga while the kids are at school, and have a secret date with your husband while the kids are off at school? Whatever it is, what does that business look like, and how can we create that for you in the process?
Yeah, that's great. And in our advanced session, we're going to talk about the customer journey and automating that. But where would you say someone should start if they basically don't have anything set up yet? Where should they start with looking to automate?
Actually, my free gift is what I call the productivity tracker. And what I have all of my clients start with is tracking exactly what they do every day for 2 weeks and writing it down every 15. So I just set the iPhone to go off every 15 minutes and just journal or do a spreadsheet, whatever you want, to track what it is you did. And it's amazing when you start tracking how you see that you do the same thing over and over, and you didn't realize you copied and pasted this message 15 times during the week, and you did this so many times during the week. Most of our clients get 4 hours back immediately once they realize just what they were tracking. And they haven't even started to create a journey yet. They've just taken care of what the busy work was.
Yeah. And getting really granular, it sounds like, and not just saying, oh, wrote an email or something like that. Like you said, like you're writing the same email over and over again.
Exactly. And starting to identify, we wear so many hats as entrepreneurs. 1 minute we're the CEO, the next minute we're the salesperson, the next minute we're the janitor putting toilet paper in the bathroom, right? So we wear all these different hats, and clearly identifying which pieces. This tracker helps not only with the repetitious stuff that we can automate, but the pieces that we might be able to outsource easily. I love my VA. She's in the Philippines. I found her and she's just the greatest thing for me because she's eliminated my having to worry about social media. I don't get stuck in the rabbit hole of social media anymore because she handles that for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you would definitely be able to see that in the tracker if you go to do your social media and you spend an hour there.
Exactly. And it's so it's kind of like, the iPhones now have that thing that tracks what you do on your phone. That was pretty eye-opening when you start looking at it. Right?
I don't look at mine. I probably should.
Kind of scary. So this helps to really identify what are the things we're doing. And whether you start software or you just, create a system or a process that works for you to be able to do this, it can save you eons of time in no time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the process, making it more consistent. When we talk about the advanced session, I'll walk you through a piece where you can look at when somebody's had a bad experience. If you've got an upset customer, if you look back at the sequence of events that happened, something was missing.
Yeah.
And if you can create that consistent process so that something doesn't get missed, you don't have angry customers, you don't have refunds, you don't have phones ringing and going, oh God, I really don't want to pick up that phone call. So it just opens up a freedom in your business that you didn't know you had before.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me about how like fast food companies, franchises, they have their systems set up so like everything is exactly the same. So if you go to McDonald's here or there, it doesn't matter. Exactly. It's all the same. And I think sometimes solopreneurs could get stuck in, again, not wanting to give up control and thinking it'll be better if they're in charge of it, when really they're probably missing pieces or someone gets a different experience than the other person does, just out of, I don't know, mistakes.
Yeah, most definitely. I've had so many people come to me after they've gotten this tracker and say, oh my God, you saved my business. Just looking at this, I didn't realize what I was doing. And they find new revenue streams and new pieces or programs or services that they can provide because they kind of look at it and go, I've answered this same question 25 times. I need to just create a quick video for it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's a great point, because you're not in the weeds anymore. You're kind of like looking at the forest.
Exactly. Proactive versus reactive.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That sounds like an amazing giveaway. What is that called again?
I call it the productivity tracker. So
okay, guys.
It's a table. I'm sorry. It's a table. It talks about what time it is, how much time it took. If you had a big org chart, whose position or whose role should it be? And what was it? Is it something that's repeatable?
Oh, I like that. So guys watching the session, you can get that double your productivity and work less. So you can double your business in the next year. The link is going to be on the page, so you can go download that from Jamie. And thank you so much for being here and talking about your story and how to set these things in motion to not only save time, but like save your sanity with your business and growing your business.
It's, it'll save you a whole lot of color in the future because you've turned gray if you set these things up to start.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all of this. We're going to be back in just a second with the advanced session with Jamie, where we're going to go in depth into the customer journey, as we've mentioned, and get a little bit more in depth and detailed. So I'm super excited for that advanced session. We'll be back in just a second. Thank you again, Jamie, for being here.
Thank you, Kristen.